Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another one of our technical support session podcasts. I'm Juan Mendoza, president of the O4WBA Business Association, and today I have Carl Callender. Carl, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Yes, my name is Carl Callender. My company is Carl Henderson Callender LLC, and I represent two different companies. But we're going to talk about today is about Legal Shield Business Solutions. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, awesome, Carl. And membership, if you remember, if anyone's interested in being our expert on our podcast, please do so. We really like to highlight businesses, business owners, goods or services that they provide, and just to put a face to the name for our membership, and just to be able to spread all the knowledge that we all have amongst each other, and just to be able to help out each other. And if you're interested in any of the services that Carl provides, he'll provide his contact info, and please reach out to connect with him. All right, Carl. So I know today we're going to talk about Legal Shield. Can you tell us a little bit of how that works, with Carl Callender?
Yes. Disclaimer here. I am an independent agent with Legal Shield. I am not an attorney, and I'm not a employee of Legal Shield. I'm independent. Legal Shield, I started with Legal Shield a good 6 years ago um, as um, as an independent associate. I've been a member since 2004 as far as using the plans on for me personally, for me and my family. And it's done so much as far as helping me out and understanding my legal rights and what I can do and what I can't do. So love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Carl. And yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the legal services, especially for a business. You got opening operating agreements, you got contract agreements, you have liability insurance, all types of questions. Somebody gets hurt in your business, all types of different questions that as a business owner, you will need a legal partner for. And Carl provides this service through his independent agent partnership with Legal Shield. All right, Carl, could you tell us how long Legal Shield has been around?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Legal Shield's been around since, well, at least 50 years. Today, this year is their 50th year being in business. They're out of Ada, Oklahoma. Not too many people know where Ada, Oklahoma is. It's like an hour and a half from Tulsa, Oklahoma. But they've been around for a long time. Right now, we cover the whole United States. What it is a network of law firms that Legal Shield put together, um, which covers all the United States, including Hawaii, and including all four boroughs, not boroughs, excuse me, Providence in Canada.
Awesome. So been a long, long time. That's a very mature business. And where are their headquarters or what their footprint? Do they only help people in Georgia? Or do they help people across the nation? Or
Oh, nationwide, nationwide. So they help out people. The main thing about Legal Shield is it gives equal opportunity for everybody like you and I to have access, unlimited access to the justice system. And one of the main reasons why they did that, because you don't have to have big money to have money to big justice.
no, I like that. So it seems like it's a large resource that is cost effective for smaller businesses that don't have the budget, if you will, to pay for a large legal resource.
Oh
That
yeah.
on average, what is an attorney
Oh,
cost of business?
hourly is nation's average right now is $300 an hour.
Okay.
And then as far as retainer fees, depending on what type of issue you may have or you may need help with, depending on that 30-minute free consultation that you have with an independent lawyer, they will say, okay, for me to help you out, it's going to be a retainer fee because they know it's going to take longer than an hour. On average, on a retainer fee can be anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. And a lot
Wow.
of businesses don't have that amount of money just to put out up front to handle any type of issues that we may be going through.
Gotcha. I see. And how many people does Legal Shield protect, and or how many businesses currently?
Oh, great question, great question. So right now, Legal Shield has are protecting over 404.4 million people across the United States and Canada. and they're protecting right now 170,000 businesses across the United States and Canada.
Got you. And so I'm going to share a PDF that we have here. And I think it's the one titled 101 Reasons to Use Legal Shield. Carl, do you see that okay?
I do. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That means our members will be able to see it okay as well.
Right.
And,
Can we increase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you want to highlight any reasons or
Well,
ways.
Well, he even look at the top 10 reasons there.
Okay.
And this is on a personal side. So I just wanted everyone to know we do business and we do take care of on the personal side as well. So number one, just having your will in place, the very first one. We talk about trust and wills. If you look at number 10, speeding tickets, I want to tell a quick story about that. I guess I was speeding. Several years ago, I was leaving Virginia for Thanksgiving on the way driving back down to Atlanta. And Virginia State Patrol pulled me over. I had my son with me, pulled us over en route to Atlanta and gave us 2 citations. I feel like I wasn't speeding, but hey, we won't even talk about that. But by the time I got home, with Legal Shield, we have a phone app that's available for all the members. And I just put up my phone app, took a couple of pictures of the 2 citations. Within 4 hours, I had a lawyer give me a call back that represents this area here in the greater Atlanta area. And they asked me, he said, Mr. Callender, what would you like to do? And I said, hey, I don't have time to go back up there. To drive 7 hours and go to court and then come back down. I just don't have time. And they said, okay, well, when the court date comes around, we're gonna have someone represent you in that area. Lo and behold, I got a call at the end of the day of the court day, and they said, hey, Mr. Callender, we took care of everything. Instead of you paying $347, we got the fine dropped down to $50, and you have no points on your license, so you don't have to worry about anything. Just with that saved me money, it saved me time, and it saved me a lot of stress just going through that, even thinking about going through that by myself.
Oh, well, thank you for that success story there. And so there's 100 reasons on here, ranging from, a bunch of different things. Is it that simple in terms of if, let's say I walk out and my car was repossessed, I come out and it's not there and I find out it was repossessed. If I just go into the app or call Legal Shield, get with someone on the line, and then they'll carry me through that process?
They would definitely work with you on that process. One thing that I do want to inform everybody, a lot of Legal Shield will help you out as far as if you have a pre-existing condition, and meaning that let's say, if you wasn't a member at the time that your car was repossessed, they will work with you. They can't represent you in court, but they will, send out a letter on your behalf or make a couple of phone calls on your behalf to try to rectify that, whatever issue it may be. I had some people that weren't members at the time. They had an issue and they were trying to get representation. It comes at a 25% discount. But if they were a member before and was an ongoing member while that issue came about, then yeah, they would have had full representation with court time already built in.
Got you. And so, and I'm sure we'll get into that down the line in terms of pricing and stuff, but there is an option for to get actual representation in court.
Correct.
As well. Okay.
As part of the membership, yes, you have as a member, you have, as far as on the personal side, you have representation of 60 hours automatically once you become a member. If you're on the business side, if you need business trial defense, and this is for trial defense for businesses, that's an extra supplement, but then you have up to 100 hours for that.
Okay, awesome. And I'll save those detailed structures for membership plans and stuff like that as we get down into the pricing in it. And so why does a Legal Shield Business Solutions exist? There are business solutions silos specifically of Legal Shield.
Well, you know, just like I do, small business, mom and pops are the backbone of the economy. If you wiped out all the small business owners and this had the big Fortune 500 companies, it wouldn't survive. So, but unfortunately, as far as, like you say, as far as budget, we don't have the budget to have lawyers and have them on retainer and represent us, because that'll be draining our money that we have, because we're simply small business. So with the business solution side, the main thing was to level out the playing field and make it access to these law firms um, to be budget friendly, and still you having not to stress out about how am I do this? Oh, I got this going on. And it helps the business owner focus more on their business and not the issues that they may be going through.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how would you say that they can help in today's businesses and in the O4 board community?
Well, let's say there's always, number one, y'all do, for you and everybody do a great job keeping up with legislation changes and keeping the community, the business association involved, that there are some things that you might need legal representation for. A lot of other things, like a contract reviews, that is major. A handshake is just not good enough. You can have a handshake with a vendor, and then that vendor might say, something may happen, anything can happen, and you might be on the short end of the stick. So it's like, okay, well, how do I get what I was told I was going to get as a customer to a vendor? Sometimes you have a contract, sometimes you don't. But just having a lawyer make that phone call, people straighten up when they get a phone call from a lawyer, and that let them know that you're serious. I have a quick story about a cemetery. A young lady that owns a cemetery out in Douglasville, and she was dealing with a funeral home that she's been doing business with them for years, but it got to the point where they owed her several $1,000s for her services, for burial services, and they just wasn't budging. They just kept, gaffing her off and putting her off. And then, like I said, she wasn't a member of business, that she didn't have a business plan for Legal Shield, but she got on it, even though they didn't have to go to court. They made a couple of phone calls. Legal Shield made a couple of phone calls on her behalf. And then I think within about 72 hours, she had a check for $49,000 hand delivered from the owner of that funeral.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
She was going back and forth with the funeral home for 8 months, and they weren't trying to give her anything.
Well, because someone that had the legal knowledge and expertise to make it happen was able to make it happen.
Right. Some other issues, some other ones are just like right now, just dealing with employee handbooks. A lot of us are functioning with employee handbooks, which is critical when you're dealing with employees, because you have to set the standard on, okay, this is what is expected. Even though Georgia's a right to work state, still it could be a little sticky depending on, why they're getting fired. Do you have a paper trail or anything like that? Because, of course, if you find someone, they can go ahead and go to unemployment, try to get unemployment, but you have to show what's going on as far as why that person got fired. Another one is this financial concerns, funding, and a big one is cybersecurity. You have these POS systems processing people's credit cards and debit cards. So we do have Legal Shield does have a business solutions for cybersecurity too.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I like those scenarios and examples you use, because Legal Shield is not all about protecting you on the criminal side. You mentioned in the employee handbook, which is more civil, right? You have to fire somebody, even though it's at will. maybe they're making a claim that it was unjust,
Right.
that you didn't put them on notice, they didn't know. And the legal world, there may be some recourse to the employee that was fired if things weren't handled correctly, even though it's an at will. And so this would help a business prepare them or put them in position to protect their business, so they don't put themselves in a situation where they are
Right.
not being represented or getting sued or whatever. So this can help them better structure their business on the front end, and
Right.
CYA, which is covering your assets and making sure that, something like that wouldn't result in your business going under or closing the doors or just stop operating.
Right. Right. I understand. And then definitely with commercial leasing, you know how you have a tenant
Yeah,
type issues and
yeah,
raising, whatever um, rent or whatever may happen, and that's not in the paper, that's not in the agreement, but they doing it anyway. You have to have that representation,
that's
to
a,
make sure
yeah,
you're
that,
covered.
yeah, that's a good example. We get a lot of questions in terms of, my landlord is doing this, or my landlord wants me to do this, or is making me do that. And having that expert or that partner to be able to just pick up the phone and say, hey, I got a quick question, this is what is going on, and I'm sure they'll ask to see the lease and be able to go back and forth. So another reason I thought about as well is people opening up businesses or maintenance on them, right? Renewals, or they need to do some renovating on their property if they're property owners. What codes am I going to have to follow? uh,
Right.
Different things like that. Opening up a business, make sure your articles with the Secretary of State are structured correctly. Make sure your EIN number is structured correctly. Make sure you got appropriate operating agreements and things like that to make sure that, again, you're structuring everything on the front end to be able to survive challenges that may arise in the
So
future that kind of go in there.
I'm glad you said that too, Juan, because we do have a program called Launch by Legal Shield, where you have access for 3 months um, to help you get all your paperwork taken care of as far as filing, getting your EIN. And that you getting your EIN is free and everything like that, but you might not know how you want it set up. The lawyer is there to help you out with that and take care of all your paperwork and get that submitted. And then still with those 3 months, you're still having that representation while you're opening and starting your business, so you can have that available to you at the same time. Because you're gonna have to make some phone calls saying, okay, am I able to do this? Can I do this? Okay, how should I do it? And I'll just direct you on, okay, here are the steps that you need to take to make sure you cover yourself.
Yeah, I agree. And when I was quickly browsing the website, I saw even questions like, should I be an LLC or should I be incorporated, right?
Mhm.
They say they can help you navigate, that information and help you figure out what's the right structure for you on that side.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, so what type of, in your experience, what is a good fit? What type of business is a good fit for Legal Shield? What businesses can benefit from Legal Shield?
Legal Shield works with all industries. When I think about the old fourth ward, and the tight community that it is, it's definitely a lot of. I know there's a lot of restaurants, a
Mm,
lot of lounges, um, and as far as this nightlife, would definitely should take advantage of that because there's so much litigation going on in the city, and it's and you're dealing with the public so much. You don't know if a car being broken into on your property, individuals may just get rowdy or accuse you of doing something, or or employee did something, getting in an argument, getting hurt on your property. And it's this, you just have to have that, make that phone call and try not to wing it out or wing it on your own or try to Google it. Oh my goodness. trying to Google the answer, and Google never passed the bar. So I don't trust too much what's on Google, especially if you have different opinions. And a lot of individuals tell me, business owners tell me, "Oh, I have someone. My brother's a lawyer," and I say, "Okay, your brother's a lawyer, but okay, so what do they practice?" It's just like going to the doctor. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, I have I have a back pain. Oh, my doctor, my brother, he's a neurosurgeon. What does that have to do? He doesn't practice anything dealing with your back. Same thing with the lawyer. Um, and the thing about that is very sticky too, is because if your brother is, you don't really know what they practice, and they give you advice, and you take that advice, and you get yourself in trouble, or it wasn't the right information, your brother could get in trouble for that because that's not what they practice, and they shouldn't be giving you advice for any reason for what they practicing.
No, that's true. I mean,
Yeah,
there's an expert for everything, and Legal Shield will make sure that you have the
you
appropriate expert for whatever you're
the
reaching out to.
appropriate. Like I said, it's a law firm, so on average, the law firm has to be in business for at least 22 years to even be part of the network, and then with the lawyers within that law firm would have to have 15 to 18 years experience within their practice. So they're very knowledgeable.
Gotcha.
So you're not going to have no, unfortunately, I don't want to say, like, you're not going to have a rookie fresh in, just past the bar in there that's going to be consulting with you.
Gotcha. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is good to know that the network of attorneys that Legal Shield network taps into have been vetted in terms of making sure they have been around for a while, making sure they know the industry and practices and laws for quite a while now. They're not just, like you said, fresh out of school, if you will.
Yeah,
You're not ready, just trying to figure it out as they
right,
kind of go with you. You're not a learning experience for them, if you will. These are people that have already done this for a while and
right,
are know what scenario you're in and know a resolution for it.
correct, correct.
Got you. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Our nightlife, there's anything to do with nightlife always has by default
Mhm.
an increase in public safety challenges, um, whether it be security. Let's say you let someone in with a fake ID, right? What are the legal repercussions for that on a nightlife? So I think this would be a good benefit for anyone that's not represented currently, especially on the you mentioned a lot of restaurants or food and beverage
Mhm.
companies, nightlife, the lounges, the nightlife operators as well. This would be a good resource for you to have as you navigate your day-to-day operations. Carl, so let's get into a little bit of the details now. Let's talk about pricing of plans. And awesome. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about the business plans and the pricing for Legal Shield.
Sure, sure, sure. If you go up to page 2, and this is and if you could just zoom in a little bit one more time. All right, there you go.
Okay.
So you have the different business plans. You have your essential plan, you have your pro, your plus, and your business essential. On the far right-hand side, oh, we lost it there.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. I see.
I dragged it to my other screen, and that's what was going on. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. And it's talking about the essentials plan. The good thing about it is if you're just getting started, and of course, like I said, all these are budget friendly. Let you know how much you have as far as at your fingertips. On each one of these, the plan, the essentials, the plus, and the pro, you're automatically going to get the advanced advice, consultation, and research unlimited. The hours, as far as Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m., you could have 3 or 4 different issues going on at one time, and you still will have a lawyer available to you. It's not, okay, we're going to go through this first and then we'll go through the second. You have unlimited access to the law firm. So with the essentials, you have like 10 phone calls per year that is made on your behalf. Where if you look at the plus and then you look at the pro, you see that the numbers increase. With the plus plan, you have 20, and then if you're on the pro, you have 40. Um, if you go back to the essentials on the right-hand side, you have document reviews, you have 10 per year, you even have letters sent out for collections. Then the designated consultations are dealing anything dealing with copyrights and trademark. You have those available to you as well. And then anything else that's not covered or that happened before you was on the membership is at a 25% discount. The good thing about the Plus and the Pro is that you have IRS audit service. You still have everything with the unlimited access with the advice consultations, letters, and phone calls made on your behalf, um, document reviews, collections. But then you have access with the plan, with the Plus and the Pro, that you have access to employee handbooks, and you have access to custom contracts. So if you want to have a contract put together, you can have that done through Legal Shield. You don't have to do it by yourself. And if you did have a contract that you did put together by yourself, you can send that contract up to Legal Shield and have them look it over to make sure it's clad tight. And if it isn't, they'll let you know what you should change or what you should think about adding or deleting, and they're there for you for that. Another good thing about the Plus plan, 50% of that, of all the features covered there, you can do in-state and for out-of-state matters. When you move over to the Pro plan, everything you could do, you either have all your features for out-of-state or in-state, but you just have that. That's the coverage as far as letting you know you're covered in all 50 states, including Canada. So if you had an issue in California and you was on the Pro plan, you can talk to Legal Shield about that. And they will give you advice, whatever you need to see to rectify that problem. As far as the letters and phone calls, that's anywhere in the United States. You don't even have to worry about that for either plan. As you see, the essentials on the right-hand side, which is the most cheapest plan, is $49 a month. If you think about that, we're talking about, I'm gonna have to do my math here. That's what, $600. I think I had it right, $600 a year. That, imagine talking to a lawyer. That's 2 hours of conversation with a lawyer, but you have full access to a network of law firms for $49 a month for just $600. Same thing with the small business plan. That's $99. That's for pretty much $1,200 a month, taken care of. And then you have your $169 for the Pro. I think that's like $1,800, somewhere in that area a year. So if you talk about that, that's less than a retainer fee.
Yeah. And these designated users, what is that referring to?
That's if you want to talk about anything with trademarking, copyright. So those are more in-depth conversations other than just the regular.
No, I'm sorry, the designated users.
Oh, the designated. Okay, yeah, definitely. I'm glad you said that too. So let's say on the central plan, you can designate yourself. You always wanted to designated users, and you can assign somebody else. You might have a manager, so you don't always have to be the person making the phone call. So on essential plans, you're going to be one of the designated users and your general manager.
Got you.
Each rate that goes up to 3 and 5, so you can have other different people being able to make phone calls on your behalf. And like I said, it's not, this go from a company that has 3 employees, 1 employees, and go all the way up to small business, like I said, all the way up to 100 employees. It covers.
Got you. Thank you for clearing that up. I was seeing, I'm sure that was a good question there, because that is a good thing for an owner to have, right? They want their business to have that, but they're not necessarily involved in the day-to-day operations, and you let your manager take control.
Correct. Take control of that. That's why you're paying them, right?
You're right about that.
That's
All right, I'm
why
gonna
you're
scroll
paying
down
them.
here to the three other options down here as well.
So yes, we have the home business supplement. So let's say you work from home. You don't have any employees. You can get on the home business supplement and pretty much have almost the same coverage, the unlimited advice, consultation, and research. 12 years, 12 per year for phone calls made on your behalf. The designated consultation, dealing with anything trademark and copyright, document reviews, collections, IRS service, and interstate, meaning that if you have anything going on in state or out of state, you're covered. And plus anything that was pre-existing that you might need representation for will be at a 25% discount. So if you look at the pricing, that is $14.95. Now, it's a supplement, so you would have to have a family plan in it, and that supplement will add on there. So you're saying like with the regular family plan, it's $29.95. We're just going to round off to the whole number, so it's $30. And then you have the home business supplement, $15. For $45, you just covered yourself, your family, and then you covered your business. And when you cover your family, that's everybody in the household. And I'll just explain that. If you have a spouse or significant other, they're covered. If you have children under the age of 26, as long as they're not married, or and even if they're in school, let's say they're in college, and let's say they're at the University of Texas, and they have an issue in Texas, your child is covered underneath the family plan. So they have legal representation there in Texas for any reason that's fit for them to make sure they're taken care of. The good thing about going over to and we're talking about, my fault, $45. Now you got your business and your family, any type of issues covered. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. That's why we're so much, I would say, budget friendly. The trial defense, I was speaking about that earlier, about having over 100 hours taken care of, covered for the small business owner. You got 25 hours of pre-trial, then you have 75 hours of trial defense. Just imagine if you was on a retainer fee, that could easily be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 right there. And you're talking about just adding that, and you can only add that feature there as far as that plan to your plus plan and your pro plan. The $49 essential plan is it's not for that one, but for the $99 plan and for the 169 plan, the pro plan, the robust one, you could add on this trial defense business supplement. And then we have the business plus supplement. So if you want any type of business consultation on that, this one, not too many people grab this one, but it's there. So if you don't have, most of the time they use it for the CRM tools. If you don't have a CRM, which is a customer retention management tool, and for a website builder. So you may not have a website, you may not have enough money for that, then you have a website builder in there, and you also have these business forums. You'll have access to that with the regular plan, but if you need it at more, let's say if you don't have, let's say, I want to say like little contracts, you have little forms there that you can have access to, and some of them are like very generic templates for contracts also included in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Covered the business plans there, the ins and outs, differences in them. And if you have more questions, Carl will definitely be happy to drill down on those. Carl, did you want to share another one or two success stories that have kind of helped to put in perspective the way Legal Shield can help?
Oh yeah. Several years ago, we had someone flying out with airlines, and I don't want to say which airline, but their flight got canceled, and they needed to get home by a certain time, because they had other personal matters to attend to. So they never did make it there on time. And the actual airline, they wanted to get refunded for their price, and the airlines didn't want to refund them, because now instead of them flying, they had to rent a car and drive to their location. They got with Legal Shield. Legal Shield said, sure, we could take care of that for you. Once again, made a phone call on their behalf, and I would say within 2 days, um, they had a check in the mail with a full refund.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Just get
yeah,
another,
because sometimes we just don't know our rights. We just don't have to take a no on different situations like that. Even dealing with car repair, even buying. Oh my goodness, buying electronics. You buy electronics and it doesn't work or anything like that, and they say no, we can't do anything about that. Um, or say, okay, we can take it back, but you got to pay for it to be shipped back to us, and then you're going to have to pay for the new item to come to you. No, y'all need to take care of that. And yeah, you don't have to do that. Legal Shield makes that phone call or sends out a letter, and next thing you know, you're not paying anything, and you're being treated the way you're supposed to have been treated the first time.
yeah. And it's true, a lot of products come with warranties, and we find it cumbersome to, reach out and make sure the warranty is honored. So this gives you another resource. Just call the attorney and they'll handle that for you.
Definitely.
All right, Carl, do you mind reading off your information here? I think you can still see it on the screen.
Oh, yeah. So the best way to get in touch with me, of course, I have my Legal Shield information on there as far as the website, but I'm gonna give you an easier website to reach me at, and that's gonna be www, my first name Carl, Carl, Callender, Callender.com. My information is in there if you want to schedule a strategy session. And all the information that we talked about today is also on the website. It'll take you directly to, if you wanted to go directly to my Legal Shield website, you can there's links on there for you to do that as well. Or you could call me directly. My number is 404-396-1659. Or you can just email me at carlhcallender@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Carl. We appreciate your time to let us know about the benefits of your business. Thank you for joining. Carl recently joined this month to the membership, so welcome and excited to see. I'm sure he's always at the social, so come say hello. We have one on May 10th at the Darwin Hotel, new hotel over here in the 04th Ward. All right, Carl, anything else you want to let members know?
Yeah, one thing I want to let you know, the main thing about it is I'm very passionate about small business owners and business owners like myself. I want to, unless you're a business owner, that means you have someone, your business runs without you being there. And we have a lot of people that are self-employed. I'm self-employed. I don't, if I don't wake up and do what I do, I'll be in a world of hurt. I'm in financial hurt. So what I want to say is that I want to know about your business. I want to know how I can help you out. So when we do a strategy session, I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything about your business and see if it's a good fit. It may not be a good fit for you, or it might be another resource that you can use. I just want to find out the best way I can service you to make sure that you're in a good space, because I want to make sure when I leave you in a better place than where you were before we met.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautifully said, sir. Thank you so much, Carl.
This is for the business owners and for just the residents of the Old Fourth Ward. There's a lot of things going on with gun laws, very serious right now. Legal Shield does have a gun owner supplement where if you ever have to use your firearm for protection, for self-defense, who are you gonna call? A lot of us don't know. We're gonna have to go find a lawyer. But we do have a gun supplement for gun owners that if you ever use your gun for self-defense or defending your family or your property, you are covered with a lawyer for any type of trial, defense, representation. I wanted to make sure I got that out there because, like I said, I want to make sure everybody is covered and taken care of. And that's a big issue right now because we never know when we're going to have to, defend ourselves, but we want to make sure that we have legal representation that's looking out for us. Thank you. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you, Carl, and I agree. It's a big hot discussion right now in terms of gun ownership and make sure you know your laws and making sure you're represented if that opportunity ever has to cross your path.